Hi, welcome to Neurospicy Mounjaro Diaries, the step-by-step guide to not losing your shit when you take Mounjaro. I'm not a professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a woman with crippling anxiety and a humorous coping mechanism. If you haven't started Mounjaro yet, consider me your guinea pig. I've been called worse. I'll be updating you daily on the ups and downs, gains and losses, and whatever else this medication decides to throw at me. Unless I die, then, well, sorry for wasting your time, I guess. So here's the thing. I decided to go on Mounjaro a whole year ago, but then the headlines broke. Everyone's dying. It's poison. It's secretly a microchip. Buy your foil hats here. Limited supply. And naturally, I panicked and didn't buy it. Since then, I've done my own research. I burned every newspaper I could find and used the heat to fuel my passion for truth and genuine knowledge. Not some sensationalist nonsense designed to sell papers and ruin my cortisol levels. Okay, let's talk about the basics. Like the absolute skeleton of what this thing actually is. Mounjaro is a GLP-1 and GIP receptor agonist, which sounds like something that should be injected into a horse. But don't panic. Here's the human translation. Your body has a bunch of little hormone messengers. Think of them like tiny overworked postal workers running around shouting, "Eat food! Stop eating food! Blood sugar is too high! Blood sugar is too low! Panic! Panic! Panic!" You know, the usual. When you take Mounjaro, it basically gives two of those messengers, GLP-1 and GIP, a caffeine boost and a promotion. They suddenly get very good at their jobs. GLP-1 says, "Hey babe, maybe you don't actually need another meal right now." GIP says, "Let me help your body use sugar properly so you don't feel like collapsing." Together, they slow down your stomach so food hangs around longer. They calm your appetite. They help your blood sugar stay stable. And overall, they make you less ravenous gremlin, more reasonable human. So if you were to explain Mounjaro at a family barbecue, you'd just say, "It makes me less hungry, helps my blood sugar behave, and stops me inhaling my entire kitchen at midnight. That's it. Not microchips, not poison, not alien technology. Just hormones doing their job, but better. Put the foil hat down, Susan. No one is tracking you. You don't even go anywhere." Apparently, there are people out there who can do this whole weight loss thing on their own. We call them unicorns. Unicorns are special. Unicorns wake up, think, I'll just eat less and move more today. And then they do it. No breakdown, no binge, no eating a family-sized dinner because someone breathed at them wrong. Just discipline. Raw, terrifying discipline. Unicorns are not like us. We eat unicorns for breakfast, usually with toast. And believe it or not, it's not our fault. Because while unicorns are out there power walking at 6 a.m., our hormones are behind the scenes yelling, "Store the fat! You're starving! Eat that carb or we perish immediately. Why are we like this?" Meanwhile, the unicorn is nibbling on a blueberry like, "Wow, I'm stuffed." Okay, Sharon, good for you. The truth is, some of us are built with, let's call it, creative metabolism. A chaotic one, a dramatic one, an ADHD, ASD, neurospicy, overthinking machine type one, which is why medications like Mounjaro exist, not as a cheat code, not as a shortcut, but as something that finally tells your internal gremlin, "Hey, relax, we're fine, stop screaming." And another thing, people don't just wake up one day and think, "Ah yes, you know what? I'm going to be fat." Pass the donuts, Susan. I could really go for some heart problems with a side of knee pain. Absolutely not. People don't overeat because it's trendy. Christ on a stick. No one wants to be fat. Well, there was that one documentary, but that was problematic in more ways than my therapist has time to unpack. Wow, the nightmares. Moving on. Here's the thing people don't get. Imagine you smoke. You get addicted. You wake up one day and think, I can't keep doing this. I need help. So you go to the doctor, and he gives you patches, tablets, whatever magical nicotine wizardry he's got on hand. And that's it. No more cigarettes. Amazing. Still hard, but amazing. Now imagine going to the doctor and he says, okay, you want to give up smoking? Great. We'll send you to a support group to cut down. But you must smoke 3 cigarettes a day. No stopping completely. Forever. Suddenly it's a completely different game, isn't it? That's food addiction. With cigarettes, you can stop cold turkey. With sheer willpower, medication, therapy, whatever. But with food, you can't stop. You can't quit. You can't go cold turkey. You can't say, right, that's it, no more eating ever again. Regardless of your addiction, your trauma, your binging habits, your metabolism, your mental health, you cannot stop eating entirely. You have to keep doing the exact behavior you're struggling with every single day, 3 times a day, while trying not to spiral, not to binge, not to lose control. So when someone says, just eat less, I'd like to hand them a cigarette and say, here, have 3 a day forever. Oh, and if you mess up once, everyone will blame you personally. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's chemistry. It's wiring. It's a lifetime battle people love to judge, but never want to understand. And while we're here, let me explain something else very slowly for the people in the back. The ones who like to shout, eat less, move more. Yeah. Okay, Stephen from the gym. Please. Piss so far off you need a passport. You haven't got a single clue. People with food addiction wake up thinking about food. They go to bed thinking about food. They eat lunch and immediately start planning what's for tea. This isn't fun. It's not quirky. It's not, I just love snacks. No. It's intrusive thoughts with calories. They aren't happy. They aren't enjoying themselves. They aren't skipping through fields with a cheesecake thinking, wow, this is such a personality trait. Again, can't speak for the people in that documentary, but that was a whole different situation. Therapy level situation. Most people struggling with food addiction don't want it. They don't enjoy it. They're not choosing it. They're not thrilled about waking up at 2 a.m. whispering to the fridge like it's a forbidden lover. It's a mental battle, a chemical battle, a trauma battle, a dopamine battle, and none of it is solved with just eat less. Stephen, sweetheart, I could eat less if my brain let me. That's literally the problem. Mounjaro isn't cheating. It's the closest thing some of us have ever had to silencing the constant food noise long enough to think like a normal person. And that's not laziness. That's survival. Rant over. However, speaking over survival. So after a year of panicking, researching, panicking again, burning newspapers, and crawling out of the conspiracy hole, I finally decided, right, I'm doing this. I'm getting Mounjaro. I'm a brave and capable adult, so I go into the pharmacy, right? Ready, nervous, sweaty, mom's spaghetti. Fully prepared to over-explain my entire medical history to a woman who did not ask. The pharmacist looks at me and goes, do you want your flu jab first? And I'm like, go on then. She asks, and why are you getting it? So naturally I say, because I don't want flu. She blinks, hard. Then she goes, no, what's your exemption? Oh, right. Adult answers. Got it. So I go, oh, asthma. She's like, okay then. Smooth start, honestly. 10 out of 10. Then we move on to the Mounjaro bit. She asks about my medications. So I list them like a proud little Pokemon trainer. Elvance, vitamin D, 20,000 units, boss level deficiency, Amphexer. And she stops me. How do you spell Amphexer? And listen, I didn't say anything out loud. But in my head I absolutely went, are you a pharmacist or what? But I smiled politely like a Victorian child offering someone a tulip and spelled it out like the obedient little goblin I am. We continue, somehow. And somewhere down the line I casually mention my inhaler. And she whips her head around like she's in a telenovela. Oh, you take an inhaler? Me, yeah. Kinda comes with the whole asthma so bad I get a free flu jab situation. Her sternly. Well, you didn't mention it when I asked what medications you take. And I'm sat there like a scolded toddler going, well, okay. I told the lady outside when she did the flu form, and then I told you I have asthma. So I just kinda thought you would. Put 2 and 2 together. My bad. And then, my rejection, sensitive dysphoria kicked in like a SWAT team through the window. Instant internal meltdown. For the rest of the appointment, I was convinced she hated me, despised me, was going to blacklist me from all pharmacies in the UK. Every look she gave, hatred. Every pause, loathing. Every page she turned, a personal attack. Meanwhile, my husband is next to me completely fine, looking like he's waiting for a bus, while I'm mentally composing my apology letter to the NHS. We somehow manage to get to the end, and then she hands me the pen and says, when I give you the medication, it needs to go in the fridge before you can use it. And my whole brain went, oh, okay. There must be a cooling process, a settling in period, a temperature acclimatization window. Science, you know? So I asked, very politely, I might add, how long does it have to sit in the fridge before it's safe to use? The look she gave me, she stared at me the way someone stares at a sim that's glitching and walking into a wall. She goes, straight away. Straight away. And I'm standing there like, okay, well that's not what you said, Angela. You said before you can use it, which strongly implies a waiting period, maybe a cool-down phase, maybe a ceremonial blessing, I don't know. Meanwhile, my husband is behind me, doing the face. You know the face, I'll explain in the car face. And sure enough, later he goes, babe. She meant if we go on holiday, like if the pharmacy gives it to you and you're traveling, then you put it in the fridge. Right, okay. Well, maybe say that then, because how am I supposed to guess that? Does she think I'm psychic? Does she think I've got pharmacist telepathy? Anyway, by the end of the appointment, I swear the pharmacist was one question away from yeeting the pen at me and locking herself in the staff toilet. But listen, if I'm going to inject myself with a needle that affects my entire body and possibly my sanity, I'm allowed to ask a few clarifying questions before committing to stabbing myself like a Victorian heroine with a poison brooch. I survived the pharmacy. Barely. Emotionally wounded, but physically intact. We get home and the first thing I do, I put the Mounjaro straight in the fridge. No hesitating. No messing about. Straight in. Because listen, after that whole conversation with the pharmacist, where apparently I was supposed to magically understand what she meant and not what she said. "I'm not taking any chances," she said. "When you get the medication, it needs to go in the fridge before you use it." Did she mean it that literally? No, absolutely not. But my neurospicy brain took it as gospel, so fridge immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200. I open the fridge, gently rearrange the shelves like I'm preparing a royal guest suite, and place the pen right next to the questionable banana. Yes, that banana. Reddit knows about the banana. It's a thing now. For context, this banana has been in my fridge for an unholy amount of time. It looks like it's been through war. It has seen things. It has experienced trauma. It is clinging to life out of sheer stubbornness. Honestly, the pen fitting in next to it felt symbolic, like, "Welcome to the family. We're all unwell here." My husband watches me carefully tucking the pen in like it's a newborn chick and goes, "You know you can use it right away, right?" And I'm like, "Sir, I am following the instructions that were given to me in vague, cryptic horoscope energy. If this pen wants to marinate next to the banana before entering my body, I will allow it." So yeah, the pen chilled in the fridge for hours, bonding with the banana, absorbing its questionable wisdom, becoming at one with the produce. Neither of us were ready for the stabbing yet anyway. And then it was time. I decided 6 hours in the fridge was enough time for the weight loss energy to reach optimum temperature. Don't question me. I heard what I heard. The whole time my husband is looking at me like, "Come on, babe. Just do it. I want to see what happens." Rude. Very rude. I'm on the cusp of a personality-altering medical event, and he's treating it like we're unboxing a new vacuum cleaner. So I take out the pen and immediately hand it to him like it's a cursed artifact. He goes, "I'll do it." A brave man. A noble man. A man clearly prepared to die for me. Except no. He meant he'd prime it, not take the actual injection for me. Deeply disappointing. Now before anyone says that's controlling, it's not. I once tested how hot the stove was by placing my entire palm flat on it. It's honestly for the best that I don't handle sharp devices unsupervised. So he primes it. And by primes, I mean he squirts quite a bit of it clear across the room like some chaotic fertility ritual. I watch the jet stream arc through the air and think, there goes £20. Great. Stunning. Love that for us. Then he hands it back to me. And that's when it hit. The cold rush of pure, unfiltered adrenaline shooting up the back of my skull like someone just rebooted me. Have you ever experienced that? That full body, "This is the end, goodbye everyone, tell the banana I loved it" moment? Because I have. Oh, my lord, I have. So I'm sitting there, clutching the pen like it's a detonator. My husband staring at me like he's waiting for a magic trick, and my internal organs screaming, "Don't do it, you fool." But I'm committed. The banana's watching. Reddit's spiritually present. It's time. I line it up against my stomach. Hands shaking, soul leaving body, my ancestors gathering to observe. I take a deep breath, and I press the button. Click. Silence. Instantly, my whole body goes stiff like a cat that's just seen a cucumber. I'm waiting for pain, lightning, divine judgment, anything. But nothing happens. Just silence. My husband, being extremely unhelpful, goes, "Hold it there for 10 seconds. 10 seconds? No, absolutely not. The pharmacist definitely said 5. 5. And now my brain is spiraling because if I say 5 and he says 10, one of us is wrong. And statistically, it's always me. So clearly I'm being gaslit by my own household at this point. My internal monologue starts screaming, "This is a trap. This is how they get you. Abort mission." Abort. And then suddenly, oh, it's done. That's it. The pen finished its job mid-panic attack. I didn't even get a full dramatic arc. Just click, chaos, confusion, and then done. Proper anticlimax, if you ask me. I genuinely thought I was killing myself as I did it. Full dramatics. In my head I was shouting, "This is the end. What have I done? I'll never eat a cheeseburger again." And then, embarrassingly, I was fine. About 3 hours later, I did have some very mild symptoms. A little nausea, some waves of dizziness. Nothing dramatic enough to justify the Oscar-winning performance I gave earlier. But to be fair, I had also eaten nothing but a cup of soup and beans on toast out of pure terror. Plus I got my flu jab. And I had 6 vials of blood taken. So honestly, it could have been anything. So that was yesterday. Today, I don't feel any different. I've got a bit of a headache, but that could be literally anything from dehydration to existing. I've been drinking water like it's going out of fashion. I don't usually get hungry until around 5 p.m. anyway, because of the Elvans. So I can't say it's done anything to my appetite yet. Oh, and I got on the scales to see if I was thin yet. I gained a pound. Rude. If you made it to the end, thank you. I appreciate the emotional support during my medically unnecessary meltdown. If you want more updates, more chaos, and more questionable life choices narrated in monotone, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. Let me know how your first day was in the comments. Day 2 will be interesting. Probably. Hopefully not fatal. I'll be back tomorrow, unless my RSD convinces me to quit the internet and live in the woods. Okay, bye.